I think you really met your god because the last thing you remember was fighting the golem. Well, the boulder rolled over you and you actually died. So I think you've actually met with your god.
I was actually dead? Like, just dead tired, though, right? Because I
No,
just feel like I've been asleep.
dead as in we've carried you back here in a haversack.
Like flat as a pancake. And you need to talk to your
Oh,
mentor. They should have taught you the roll with the punches.
Oh,
oh my. How long have I been gone?
a few days.
Oh, this all felt like it was like 2 or 3 hours just meeting and seeing my mentor. It felt so real. I could feel his hand, and I could touch the bark on the grandfather tree. And when I met with Sylvanas, her hair, as she was a horse, it felt, I've it was just the weirdest thing. I was there. I know I was.
That's what I'm saying. You probably were. We've just drug your soul back to this miserable place.
Well, I'm very thankful to be back with you all, my friend. You're all my great friends, and I do appreciate it. I look over to, is the cleric still there?
Yeah, he is, and you guys saw he kind of did a quick fist bump and then kind of returned back to solemn position and kind of smiled at Melton, and you see he's got a lot of gold teeth except for a couple, and then he gets real solemn again. He looks down, he says, "Welcome back, my sister."
Are you to thank for bringing me back?
Helma's to thank, I think, and Sylvanas too.
Oh, well, I will give a prayer to both this evening. I thank you very much for assisting.
You're welcome. Now, I do want you to know that you are in a weakened state. Every day you'll grow stronger, but please remember that you may not be as strong as normal.
Okay, all right. And what was your name again?
My name is Turvan. It's nice to meet you. He says, I'm from the Underdark. I recently came up through the Mirabar tunnels and have found home here. It's a good place.
Ah, I thought I recognized you. You are of the Dark Elf?
I am. I have to stay
The
inside
drow?
during the night. Yes, yep, and keep covered, obviously, if I go out, but that's correct, yeah. Not many of us on the overland.
Yes, I have met one of you before in the High Forest, a very nice person, but of course there are the stories of how ruthless your people can be sometimes.
Yes.
But then again, you can probably hear those stories about any race at some point during their history.
True. The sadness is that we're the true elves, right? The other elves have fallen from our graces, but that's why their skin is not dark colored like mine.
Okay.
But anyways, that's neither here nor there, right?
Yes, but once again, I thank you very much. Can I give you something as a payment?
Oh, not for me, but maybe for the Temple of Helm. Probably would be sufficient if you would like. Anything is welcome, of course.
All right. She gives him five platinum pieces.
Wow. You see that his eyes get sort of big, and he says, that's very generous. Wow, thank you. Your group has already paid, I think, though.
Well, you can use this to help the less fortunate in town or in your travels.
He kind of puts his hand out and kind of touches the shoulder of yours, and he said, thank you, sister.
If you don't mind me asking,
Please.
Where in town can I get diamonds?
Ah, you need diamonds?
Yeah, I need one, maybe two.
I go see Jazar. He seems to be the best, most fair merchant, to be honest with you. He's down the road. You want to go over to the Sword Road. Go up the Sword Road, and I think it's the fourth or fifth building on the left.
You're
Okay.
expecting more deaths.
Yeah.
Better to be prepared.
Yeah.
He knows
Prepare
my
for the worst,
campaigns.
hope for the best.
Jazar, four houses up on Sword Road. All right.
Yep. He says if you need safe haven or passage or need any services of Helm, I'm always available.
Thank you very much.
Sure. And he kind of nods, and you see he kind of turns his back, and he goes back to the table, and he starts picking up some, bowls and things that are in the back, and starts kind of arranging them a little bit. And
Well, Verlini, are you filling up to heading out now?
Yeah, I'm really, really hungry for some reason. But other than that, I can, yeah, I can travel.
Okay. Let's head back. Stig, you want to swing by that vendor?
Yeah, if you don't mind, stop by and see Jazar. Get at least one diamond.
Okay.
okay,
I say we could get some more. There's some. Maybe you can swap because we got some. Gems up in there in the party sheet. One of them's an emerald worth 1,000 gold, so you might be able to trade out. There's some other items in there too.
Oh, okay. All right.
Since those gems might come in handy.
Yeah.
did
Alright.
Berlenia, I know you guys had talked about the shard earlier. If you want to take that shard, you could. It's up to you. I don't have a problem if you just drag it out of the character sheet, the sheet there. If everybody's okay with that.
Sure.
About stuff in there.
Oh, okay.
So you guys walk out, I assume. Melton, did you try to flitch those 5 plat?
No, I
gotcha.
changed my mind.
All right, fair enough. As you exit the building, you notice that there are 2 humans that are just about to enter the temple themselves, and you see the door kind of pushes open, and they're like, "Oh, excuse us, pardon us," and they kind of walk around as you guys walk inside.
Are you here to study home?
We're here to pray. Yes, we come every day.
Ah, excellent.
Yes, it's good to meet you folks. You're new in town. I've never seen you before.
Yeah, we're just passing through.
The town has spoken about lizard folk being in the town. We haven't had a lizard folk in our town in probably 100 to 200 years. Welcome.
Ah, thank you.
You're welcome. You may have noticed people were staring at you when you walked through, weren't you?
Yeah, they stare at me almost everywhere except for in the swamp.
Ah, then you're used to it. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. See ya.
See ya. They kind of walk in. Yes, Melton, that was a drow that was there. Good thing you were in disguise, right?
Yes.
So you guys walk out. You continue to see kind of the same description I gave you before. You see lots of people milling about. They seem to be walking with a purpose. Not a lot of conversation or discussion back and forth on the streets. And now that you've been in the town for a while, you notice that this is a very quiet town. Not a lot of town noises. You hear people milling about and little murmurs of communication, but you don't hear the yelling and the hawking of wares and whatnot. And even walking by buildings, you walk by inns and taverns, and they're very quiet and somber. You don't hear music coming from them or anything like that.
This is a very strange town. Northern folk are weird.
I thought the dwarves were a joyous and boisterous race. I wonder if there's something wrong here.
Maybe? Well, let's head over to. I'm sorry, what was the vendor name, Stick?
Jiz
Bizarre, yeah.
Jizar, yeah. It's on Sword Road.
I think we passed one of those signs that was a sword.
Yep. As you guys continue back and kind of backtrack a little bit, you do find the sign that was the sword. And going up that street, you see that it appears to have various caravans, small wagons that look like small caravans and whatnot that are parked alongside the road. You see at each sort of building or whatnot, there's people coming and going and what that you see. There is a very large building right next to Jasar's, and it has what appears to be several guards and plates standing outside, as well as just some people kind of looking in the windows. You notice that in the windows that's has a lot of very beautiful plate mail and swords that are kind of all along the walls in there. But you see Drazar's shop. It's got a little picture of an emerald that's kind of carved into the sign itself, and it says Drazar's Rocks, and the door is easily opened, and go in if you want to. It's a small little building.
All right, I'll head on in.
Alrighty. So as you go in, you kind of walk in and you kind of look around the room. The room is fairly barren. There's pretty much a desk that's in there. You do see there's a back room as well. There's a it's a high desk. Comes up to about where your chest is for you. For the little smaller folk, unfortunately, you can't see over the desk. And there's just a pad of paper that's there. There's a large writing utensil, and there's a small scale.
All right, Jazar, do you have any diamonds?
So you kind of look around. You don't see anybody in there, but you kind of say something like that, right? Hello or something.
Yeah, Jazar.
Yeah. You suddenly see this ladder appears, and you see tuk 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 tuk, and all the way up to the top, there's a goblin that kind of peeks over. He goes, "Yep. What do you need?"
I'm looking for 2 diamonds, possibly 3.
2 diamonds, possibly 3. Alrighty. Big diamonds, little diamonds.
About 300 GP worth of diamond.
Ah, I got just what you need. And you see him kind of go down the ladder, and you hear him rifling through what sounds like a big box of rocks behind the desk. And he kind of comes up, and he has 3 diamonds in his hand. He sets them on the scale. He says, "All right, put your payment on the other side."
Well, as far as the payment,
Yeah,
I was gonna offer 1 emerald,
yeah.
then a few plat.
Let me see the emerald.
I'll show him the emerald.
He takes it, and he pulls out these tiny little, they look like spectacles, and kind of puts them on and kind of looks at the diamond just for a second, and then you see him slowly kind of slide them back into his pocket of the inner part of his little vest that he has, and he puts the rock on the scale, and you know kind of how that rock had felt, the emerald that you felt, and you see the scale immediately falls down to the bottom where the diamonds are kind of up in the air, and then all of a sudden you see it kind of come back up almost unnaturally, and it evens out. He says, "That's fair, I'll take that." And he gives you the 3 diamonds and takes the emerald.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, thank you, Jazar.
Yeah. Any more cool rocks, let me know. And
Will do.
All right, you see him kind of go down, and this ladder sort of disappears, and you don't hear anything else behind the desk.
Well, I guess I'm set. You want me to delete this emerald, or you?
Yeah,
take
if
it?
you can take it out, that'd be great. Or I can, actually, if you want me to. And then I'll get you some diamonds here in a second.
Time is or a lizard man's best friend.
Yeah.
At least this lizard man. Oh, there's a horse outside.
Do we need any more supplies, or are we planning to stay here this evening, or head back to the boat?
Well, we could always cheaply live on the boat. And
What
Relinia
is this?
you know,
What
I don't think
boat?
she's up to par yet.
Oh, Relania, you don't even know.
What is it that I don't know?
Friends of William brought this flying boat. A balloon keeps it aloft.
Wow.
And that's what actually brought us here to Mirabar.
And we can continue to use it?
Apparently so. This is supposed to help us on our mission.
That is amazing.
So we're heading out to the boat.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So as you guys continue outside of the city, going through the town again is exactly kind of how I described it. As you make the turn and come around that inner wall, Stig, you immediately notice that the two people that you saw walk into Helm's temple seem to have come out of the shop that were just to the north of you guys, the big armor shop, and seem to be heading kind of in the same general direction as you. Not really talking, but carrying their stuff. Seems interesting, though, that it's coincidental they're both, you saw them again.
And they're just normal looking humans, huh?
Yep, normal humans appear to be just like everybody else, kind of within the town itself. Kind of, you know, hands are kind of calloused and hardworking. Look to be looking down to the ground. They kind of talk back and forth casually, briefly to each other, talking about whatever they're talking about. But still behind you, nonetheless, going along the circle around the inner wall. You guys continue on the street on the outside of town and get to the gate. The gates open up, and the guard's still standing there, and he says, got everything you need, huh?
Believe so.
I saw your colleagues from that craft you got. They're already back on the boat. They went about an hour or two back, so... Have a good day. Nice to meet you all, and feel free to come back to the richest city in the north.
Thank you.
Welcome. Gate kind of closes behind you guys.
He kept saying it's the richest city in the north.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like something you'd want to advertise.
Well, it might be something to check out. That people that are rich sometimes need to have their stuff, redistributed to other lesser rich folks.
Via Melton's hands.
Well, I am a socialist at heart.
Oh, Lord.
Is our boat still there?
Oh yeah, it's still there, still sitting there. You do see that several of the people that the cult of the dragon, cultists of the dragon, are along the boat. They're kind of looking around. They don't seem to be on guard or an alarm at all, but still on the boat, ready to go. As you approach, they obviously drop down the rope ladder, and you all are able to climb up into it if you'd like.
Well, I'm ready to move on. Did we decide which one of the places on Horsnack's map we were going to head to first?
I don't think we did.
Well, I would like to. I thought we kind of talked about maybe moving toward Silvery Moon, and then heading to Everlund because we had something to do in Everlund, and then going to the grandfather tree because there was some reason we needed to go there. I think maybe just because it was marked on the map as a place that had an artifact, and then of course the dream that Relenia had.
Mhm. As
Well,
you
I'll
get-
go wherever the boat takes.
I was gonna say, as you guys get on the boat, Brass kind of looks over to Barry and says, "Hey, who's the new guy?"
This is Verlinia. That's why
Oh,
we came here. She was kind of dead.
hi, Relenia. I'm Brass, and the other
You
guy.
can't see her name tag. It says Pancake.
Yes, and I'm not a boy.
Oh no, I mean I didn't see you. I was pointing to the other one. They point
What
to
other
Melton.
one?
Melton. That
Oh,
one.
Melton.
Yeah. I don't remember another halfling.
Oh, Melton.
Yeah. I was here.
I remember a gray, sickly-looking dwarf. I don't remember a halfling.
You need to have your eyes checked.
Kind of rubs his eyes. He's like, I was on a long watch last night, but okay. And he kind of goes back to the boat. I don't. Kind of talking like, I think I'm getting air drunk.
Probably be smelling too many of the fumes from that elemental.
Yeah, maybe. He's talking to another one. He's like, I could have swore there was a gray-skinned one.
I'll go to the captain.
Alrighty. Zarthia is kind of there, just sort of relaxing on the top of the boat there. Has a chair out with her feet up on a box. She says, you're back.
Yes, it went much smoother and quicker than we first thought.
Yeah, it's a odd town. My colleague said they felt somewhat uneasy there.
Yeah, it seemed kind of strange, but we didn't run into any trouble, so I don't go looking for it unless it comes looking for me.
Fair. Yeah, they didn't either. They pretty much went to the first store they could find, get the stuff, and got out. But they said it wasn't very friendly. Well, it wasn't that they weren't friendly. It was weird. Anyways, where are we off to?
Hey, is this before or after the Rise of Tiamat?
So this is after the Rise of Tiamat.
So, is like the entire Sword Coast still terrified by the cult, or are they over it?
I think they're over it at this point. It's been probably about 50 or 100 years. 50 years, I think. So I think they're kind of over it at this point.
All right.
Unfortunately, though,
realize it was
dragons and giants, they don't forget.
Sure.
Yep.
And one last thing.
Yeah.
Did Sylvanas actually give me any information on the staff? Because the Oracle specifically did say that Sylvanas would give us information on the scales.
She
of
did.
balance.
So she essentially told you that the rune that you have, just like you had said, does give special abilities to that staff.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So if it's inserted into the staff, that it will give you additional protection, is what she said.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Now, does this ice
Shard?
Yeah, the shard of the eyes rune, is it about the same size? Would it fit in the staff also, or not?
It probably would fit into the staff as well.
Oh, okay. All right, that's all I got.
Yeah, no problem.
So, where do we want to head off to? I see Morgu's Mound's close. Well, these cities have X's too. Some of them, like Shining White and Raven Rock. Is that just marking the towns, Craig?
I'm looking here. No, so Shiny White, that's actually one of the mounds. Raven Rock is one of the mounds. So Flint Rock is one of the mounds. Raven Rock, Great Worm Tavern, Baruna's Well, One Stone. They may be on the map as well that you see on the map, but if they are, that's just because I probably didn't edit them out of the map.
Now,
Oh, okay.
did you guys already do the Great Worm Cavern?
No.
Oh, okay.
I tried.
I'm open.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm open to go wherever everybody else wants to go.
Well, I say we head east, and we either go to hit the Shining White or the Great Worm Cavern on our way toward Grandfather Tree, if everybody will go that direction.
I'm fine with that. That's what I was going to suggest. Let's just start working our way southeast.
Cool. I'm cool with it.
Alrighty. So, as you guys know, kind of the distance that you traveled from the area where you're at to Mirabar was about a day and a half about. So that gives you kind of a general gist of how far you can travel. So I believe each hex, I think, is 25 miles across. So that'll kind of give you, and you can travel up to 100 miles in a day. Just so that you're aware. So that can give you some kind of time reference too. I know the hexes aren't perfect for moving, but at least give you a general idea. She says, all right, point the way. Which way do you want me to head?
That Melton comes out from below.
Who are you? Stowaway, quick, guards, grab her.
Oh, my name's Sally.
Sally? Who is she? Do you guys know her? Can you vouch for her?
No, throw her over.
They all kind of come
I
over
think
to her.
she's the one who drew all over me.
They all come over and immediately start to reach for Melton.
Whoa.
They surround you. They all got their blades out. All right, we'll throw her over. Off this boat. Get off.
I had a question first. You asked what direction we should go in.
We don't take stowaways' advice. How'd you get on
Well,
this boat?
My suggestion was going to be I would recommend going up first.
Up first. All right, great advice. All right, throw her over, guys. And they all kind of grab your arms and your legs. They kind of pick you up, and you're kind of kicking and squirming.
I take my hat off.
All right. You suddenly change over back into Melton, and they all drop you as that happens. And they're like, what witchcraft is this?
I think that would be just normal Melton witchcraft. He likes to impersonate different creatures and people.
Zatalia comes over to you, and she says, don't impersonate me. They kind of pick you up. Put
Ixnay
you back
on
in
the
feet.
change nay.
So she kind of looks around and she goes over and you guys see the boat kind of slowly rises up into the air, and she says, heading?
We're heading southeast. Have you ever heard of a place called Shining White?
Shining White. No, I've not. Never heard of it. She says, a map or anything that maybe can help?
Yeah, let's pull out the Harshnag's map
Okay.
and spread it out so she can take a look.
Gotcha. So as you kind of spread out the map, she takes a look and she says, okay, all right, Long Saddle, okay, yep. Those woods, that must be the woods south of the temple. I think Lurkwood or something like that. Okay, yeah, I got that. All right. She says, no problem. I'll be happy to help us get us there. And so she obviously raises up the boat. Again, it's still pretty cloudy, so you guys are fairly close to the ground, and continues the travel. It takes, looks like about 2.5 days to get there from what I'm looking at. Let me see what the distance actually is. Actually, yeah, about 2.5 days. So you guys are able to sleep throughout the night, which will give you decrease on your penalty there, Relenia. And you guys get through the second night as well. She stops a little bit short of the area that's there. You guys are able to find some sleep and whatnot. And on the second day, the skies are fairly clear as you go. You are just traveling over Lurkwood now at this point, coming across. You do recognize this area, though, right? Because if you remember, you guys traveled up through the Evermoors and along Griffin's Nest there on the earth, and then came up the road to Zarl's Keep. So you do recognize kind of the landscape and whatnot below. You remember seeing these hills as you were traveling, but coming from above, it's a much different sort of landscape that you see. And as you continue to travel, you see that the just east of the river there's an area that appears to be almost covered in snow. There was maybe a snowfall that had fallen here to the south, and you kind of look down and you see this sort of unusual shape kind of carved out of the ground there, and it looks almost like a bird being carved out of the ground itself, and it looks like this as you fly over it. And you see several rock mounds that are kind of piled up, and there's a large stone in the very northwest, a large hill that kind of extends up and above. Right there in that square.
I wonder if that's our mound.
I don't know. Zalthea, can you take us down a bit so we can take a better look? Get
Yeah.
a better look?
So as she brings you down, you guys get about maybe 100 feet or so across from the ground itself, and you see that this that large hill is kind of looking over one of the tributaries of the river, and you do see that there's definitely a coating of snow that kind of covers everything. In the center, you see there's like these two raised rings that kind of go around of earth that are kind of eclipsed by this 200-foot tall spire of what looks like white chalk. Even though it's covered in snow, it still has this kind of white color to it. You do see there's several menhirs, and there appears to be what looks like an altar that's kind of in the center. And it looks like the menhirs have sort of been knocked over and broken into many pieces, as well as the dirt has been kind of dug up and pulverized near the center of the area there. You also see there's several openings and caves that are kind of dug out into the early open sections here as well.
We'll have William do the adamantium rod.
Okay. So as William does the adamantine rod, you notice that it points to the wagon that you guys have down below. Strangely, it doesn't point at Barry now.
Ha! I know why.
I figured you would. So William kind of tips his head a little bit to the side, kind of perplexed a little bit, but it doesn't seem to be pointing in any other direction.
Okay.
And also, while we were on the boat,
Yeah.
I would have taken that time to attune to the shard,
Perfect. That sounds great.
and then also do some testing with
Yeah.
that shard, my shard, and the scales of balance.
Sounds great.
As long as I don't blow up the boat.
You're not going to blow up the boat. So as you do see that your shard does definitely fit right into that. And as it does, you see that it sort of gives you a feeling of calm and of sort of relaxation. And you find out that it protects you against the Fae. So you have a protection against the Fae, which grants disadvantage to the Fae if they try to attack you, and you get advantage on any of their additional stuff. And then, sorry, bear with me for a second. You see
Aren't
also.
I a fae?
You kind
Basically.
of are. Kind of. And you see that it fits in very nicely into the rod that you have there. The other shard, as you put it in there, you feel the sensation that you do have a feeling that the air isn't so cold anymore. And when that's in there, you have immunity to cold damage.